Our week 3 lesson for language, and this lesson is about creating social action collectives and making social action plans. So far this cycle we've worked on identifying local issues and in analyzing the information that we see in the news. So now we're going to start thinking about what can we do and how do we start the process of taking action against some of these issues. So we're going to first start by asking ourselves some questions. So we're first going to ask, what is a major issue? What do people who think very differently from you think about it? So we're first going to identify an issue and then think about what is the opposite side of that issue. This way of thinking involves taking perspectives and imagining other perspectives, including those of people with whom you may disagree. So in order for us to take action on issues, we also have to think about the perspectives of people who think opposite of what we do about an issue. And even if we feel really strongly that we are right in how we feel, we still have to think about and respect how other people feel. So we're going to start by thinking about what local political issues are interesting to you, your family, or your community. So we're going to do local issues within our area and think about political issues, which can also encompass economic and social issues too, and what ones are interesting to you and involve things like your family and your community. Once we've identified an issue, we're going to ask, is this issue a job for the government? And then also, what should not be taken care of by the government? So what are some things that should be left to the choice of the people and the work of the people and not the government? So what are some ways to figure out what our issues are? So we're going to start talking about what is the problem. So I'm going to go through this sheet and it's going to help us figure out how we can identify what our local issues are. Unfortunately, problems and needs of solutions are easy to find. Reading the newspapers, watching the news on TV, or listening to the radio, surfing the web, reading books or magazines, or talking to people in your school and community can all help you identify the need to be tackled. Here's a list of topics to get you jump-started. Ask yourself, what's the problem for each of these topics? Just decide which ones you want to work with or brainstorm topics of your own. So in community concerns, we're going to go through each topic, and then for each one, you can ask yourself, what would be the problem? And I'll give you a couple examples. So here are some that are community concerns. So schools. So what might be the problem in schools? Well, there's teacher shortages, there's lacks of supplies, there's standardized testing, which is an issue. So those are all things that are the problem with this topic. City growth and development, land use, vacant lots, abandoned buildings, beautification projects, animals and wildlife, libraries, literacy, parks and recreation, and sports and athletics. So those are all a lot of topics where we can look at and ask what's the problem. For social concerns, we can look at topics like families, childcare, friends and social relationships, population, immigration, diversity, clothing, homelessness, public health and mental health, nutrition and hunger, substance abuse, volunteerism, support systems for children and the elderly, poverty, and employment and unemployment. For governing agencies, some topics are transportation, law enforcement and justice, education, business and labor, lawmaking agencies and governments, social agencies, elections and voting, and court advocacy. For the environment, some topics are energy production and energy use, natural resources, wildlife, hunting and fishing, pollution in the air, water, and land, weather, and garbage and recycling. For technology, some topics are communication, information access, satellites and space research, medical research, industrial advances, inventions and projects, and the future of technology and space. For value systems, some topics are money, economic growth, human rights, children's rights, ethics or morals and beliefs, religion, censorship, trade, and working conditions. And for public safety, some topics are police, weapons and gun control, safety and accidents, terrorism, natural disasters, disease, and crime. So those are a lot of topics to help you figure out what's the problem and then identify which issue you are interested in. And what you guys are going to do is identify your top 5 issues that you want to work on, and from that we are going to form social action collectives. So those are groups of people that are all interested in helping solve a specific issue, and it's based on who is really interested and passionate about it. And some social action collectives are going to be smaller than others, because the people you want in your social action collective are the people who are really going to help you solve this issue and work with you because they feel passionately about it. And so that's what we're going to do this week, is form social action collectives, and then also start creating social action plans of how we're actually going to solve some of these issues that you guys identify together.